Hi everyone, it's Karen again. Thank you for watching another one of my YouTube videos. And this time it's about my big celebrity crush. And that celebrity is da 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 da. Is that a clue? I wasn't even going to do that because obviously I have no musical talent. But it's Perry Mason. And I mean the real Perry Mason, not the new one, which I'm going to get to in a minute. And I guess you can tell by how wide I'm opening my eyes. I am not pleased about the new one. But let's talk about the old one. And I don't have a crush on Raymond Burr. I have a crush on Perry Mason, the attorney who always wins. I love that man. Oh my God, I never thought of it when I was little. So when I was little, I had seen it. I mean, it's been in syndication my whole life. And I loved it when I was little. And if you read the companion piece, because my videos are always a companion to my It's Not About Me.tv columns, and I just did one about my love of Perry Mason, but I don't think I mentioned the crush, but I don't know. We'll see well, if you do both, you can compare them. But anyhow, so I used to watch Perry Mason and I loved it. And then I'm sure I've seen reruns over the years. But then, with what's going on with that, we've been in the house for almost 5 months now. Maybe it is 5 months by the time you're seeing this. And I'm having a great time. I mean, I'm sad for everybody in the world. And I am, missing my theater and gifting suites and screenings and parties and all that stuff. But I have a lot to do. Mainly watch 3 Perry Masons a day. I love this. So something just a few weeks ago, I said to myself, hey, let me search my DVR and see if they ever have a Perry Mason on. So I saw 2 that were listed. So I said, record all. I woke up the next day. There were 20 on my DVR. They recorded 20 in like one night. All these obscure channels I didn't even know I had. And, they're a little grainy. They're not the best quality, but it turns, so now all I do is research. I research Perry Mason every day. I can tell you there were 271 episodes. It was 9 years. Like, I know everything. But now when I watch the beginning, like when they start the da-da-da-da, depends, like, because he's always a little suspicious. He picks something up from the judge and he looks at it and then he goes, and then if he smiles, like, I know which season it is, and by to whom he gives the papers and where they're seated, I know. I really wish, I'm just about positive that Barbara Hale is still alive. I hope she is, and I hope I can find her. And if you can find her, would you please have her get in touch with me? I have so many questions, like, because sometimes I think they were just really laughing. The actors, I don't think it was the characters because they're laughing too hard at something at the end. And then it's not like modern shows where they say guest starring at the beginning. It's all at the end. So I pause and I research every old actor who was ever on there. I'm learning so much. I love it. I love this. I can't tell you. And Mr. X, I rope him into it. I make him watch them with me because I don't want to watch them without him, because you know what? When I was little, I'm a little, there's no air conditioning on right now, and I'm like a little hot in here, so I keep like trying to get some air down there. But that's why I'm just a little classier today, am I not? Because I'm paying tribute to Perry Mason. But at the end of it, like, we don't understand anything. So like I think it was the third one we watched, Mr. X goes, wait, who? Whose face was obscured? Who was in that thing? What was he? So this is, I wake up the next day and I write this whole chart for him of who everybody was and how they were related and what they did. And so I was so proud of myself. This took me like an hour because it was hard to figure out. Oh, does that make my face? Oh, that's a script. Yes, I am an actor sometimes, but does that lighting change? Huh, which is better. Okay, but that's something for another time. And so I showed Mr. X. I was so proud. I said, so let me show you the chart. He goes, you think I'm going to spend any time on trying to figure out what character was what on last night's Perry Mason? Like, it is a little crazy. It was so hard to figure out. And I can't believe this was first done in the 50s and 60s. Why was it so complicated back then? But Perry, I love, like, you just, like, I mean, we all know that he's like, and that's why you killed him. But on one of them that we saw, I think he asked 3 people. He was just grasping at straws. Everyone he interrogated, I don't think it's called interrogated. I think it's called cross-examine. He'd go, and that's why you killed the person. And they go, no, not me. And I'm like, okay, every single, isn't anyone catching on to that? Everyone who gets up there, he's going to ask. But okay, but anyhow, I love it. I think Perry Mason is the man. I think he is fabulous. I know that Paul Drake, his detective best friend, that's a little, sometimes Paul goes, I'm going to go to my office. Sometimes Perry says, is he in yet? Like, I don't know where he really comes from. And I don't really know. Are Perry and Della Street and Item, sometimes they were like just banging into each other. Why are they together every night? They go out for every meal together. They're at lunch. Why does she have to go with him all the time? What is happening with those two? Speaking of things I'm upset about, I was just going to look at my notes to see if there's anything else I have to tell you. But I am so, the reason I love the old ones, it's like, because Mr. X keeps saying, why do you have to watch this every second? It's like just so unpainful, in this world that is so full of pain right now. It really is full of pain in every direction. I just like to watch Perry Mason. It's just like, sometimes you go, I can't believe that was so stupid back then. But it's so different from this world, even with all the murders on it. Okay, but so there's something I want to tell you. So now, when I said to someone the other day, I have a crush on Perry Mason, they said, the new one, that is blasphemous. That should not be named Perry Mason. There is a new show. I believe it's on HBO. I'm really upset because I started to look it up, but I was just, my blood was boiling too much. And like Perry Mason is supposed to be the anti-blood boiler for me, not for the murderers. I think he's a drunk. I think he's divorced. He didn't get married unless he married Della Street. And also, so it's like he's, the only thing is that he's still an attorney, I guess. And that's not fair. Call it something else. Call it the drunken attorney. Do not call it Perry Mason. It has nothing to do with Perry Mason. You can have someone who's a lawyer, who has a secretary, who is a detective, who helps you out. That's like every show there is on TV. Why can't you call it something else? It has nothing to do with Perry Mason. It is not Perry Mason. It's really not fair. I'm going to cry. Okay, I didn't realize I was this upset, but I am. So let me just say that, yeah, so if I were you, I would watch only the old ones because that is Perry Mason. And if you have to watch the new one, you should not watch it until they change the name. Okay? And that's all I have to say about it. Actually, I have a lot more to say about it, but you'll read about it, and it's not about me.tv. And I was going to tell you about my outfits compared to Della's, but that's a story for another time. So there will be another time, knock on wood, from my mouth to God's ears. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this. And I will see you at the next one. Watch only the old black and white Perry Masons. I promise you, you will see my boyfriend, Perry Mason.